Hey y'all, welcome or welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you are new here, my name is Angel, aka the Angelic Muse. I'm an intuitive tarot reader as well as a certified Reiki practitioner. And as you can see from the title of this video, I am back with an all zodiac sign mini reading. So as you can see, we have 12 spreads here or 12 layouts here, one for each zodiac sign. So we're going to start at Aries here and we're going to work our way all the way down through to Pisces. So what I did was I pulled one tarot card and one oracle card for each sign. As always, the timestamps will be down below, so you can check for your sun, your moon, your rising, or your Venus placements. And as always, in the description box will be my link if you would like to book a personal session with me. I am available for those. And also my social if you want to connect with me over there. So without further ado, I'm going to get started with Aries, and I will see you all at your timestamps. Okay, hey Aries, welcome to your reading. So as you can see, for you, you have the Knight of Wands and you also have the Frog represented by the number 40 for your Oracle card. So right off the bat, first instinct for me is that you are being called to take some sort of leap of faith with something, a leap of courage, a leap of whatever it is that you want to call it. You're being called to take some sort of leap. For whatever reason with this frog, when I saw this card, I noticed two on there and it made me think of some sort of like duality maybe within you that you may be struggling with at this current time, where sometimes you feel ready for this leap and then other times you don't. But one thing that I also noticed in back of that is the lotus. And you know, when you think of a lotus flower, they're very beautiful. However, they do grow in mud. They grow in murkiness and like what we may consider some sort of like confusion. When you think of mud, you think of like uncertainty or like even like a mess even. So you could currently be in a place where you feel like life, or just when it comes to this goal of yours, it seems more scattered than you would like for it to be. But again, you have the Knight of Wands here, and the Knight of Wands is not the wand, is not the knight that is going to necessarily, excuse my baby, he's in there yelling with his dad. I'm telling you, every time I get on this, like, this boy start going crazy. But he's not the knight that necessarily thinks first and then acts later. He actually does the opposite, and at times he can come off a bit reckless. But I'm not getting that kind of energy here. In fact, when I look at his face, he seems more like nervous for some reason. Like, and this is typical Rider-Waite, but the way I'm reading his energy is more so nervous but ready. And I feel like that is your intuition maybe pulling on you, telling you like you're ready for this. Whatever this thing might be, you have whatever it takes to get to the end goal here. You have the armor, you have the horse, you have the wand, you have the momentum going even. So and I'm not picking up, like, it's not page energy. So this isn't something that I feel like you are necessarily new to. Maybe something that you've started or maybe like dipped your toes in a little bit and got your feet wet with. But in the event that it is something that you haven't really made, like, I guess, tangible or practical steps towards, and it's something that you've been, oh, sorry, I hit the mic. It's something you've been thinking about. It's something you've been thinking about for a while. So that's what is Knight energy. It's like you're more than prepared. You're mentally prepared for it. You have everything that you need. It's giving me like start now energy. That's just what I'm getting from this. So I feel like whatever it is, this is just your confirmation here that you are more than capable. You're more than equipped. You're more than ready to take on whatever this new chapter or this new journey of yours is going to be. And it's actually something that you're passionate about. It's something that you have a lot of like emotion about. Like you have, you feel a strong tug for a reason is what I'm saying. And you're being encouraged not to give up on that. And not only that, but like when I think of frogs and like their whole evolution of what they like come from, like I don't know, I don't know, it's kind of like a baby too. Like when you think of like how a baby starts out and it's just like a tiny little, you know, like it's a tadpole or it's a, whatever, you know what it is for a baby. But like it's just interesting how it evolves and it turns into this thing that you weren't even expecting. And I feel like you are going to be pleasantly surprised at the end goal or the end result of this. And you're going to be proud of yourself in the end, is what I'm picking up on. So I'm going to read this oracle out the book and see what we get from that. it says, I embrace my evolution. We just talked about evolution. Out in still water, frog sits atop a lily pad, soaking up the sun. From tadpole to the form it takes today, frog has experienced growth on many levels and understands the importance of each of those stages. Frog knows that you too have learned many lessons, but it is time for you to emerge as the embodiment of your whole self. Representing fertility and the abundance that life can offer, Frog encourages you to bask in the brightness of your own soul. You are full of unique experiences or life experiences, so take a moment to embrace your authentic self and leave out any expectations from others and go fluttering by without attaching to them. You have transformed beautifully into who you are meant to be. Welcome the ripe fruit of life and your next steps with confidence. Like I said, he gave me like a nervous kind of vibe, or that's at least what I picked up from the energy of the card. But you're definitely encouraged to be confident within this, because you have what it takes. And not only that, but it says the frog has experienced growth on many levels and understands the importance of each of those stages. So I think, like, if you're nervous based off of like past failures or even mistakes or whatever you want to call them, that's not something that you want to harp on too long. You want to kind of get out of that. If you're like stuck in some sort of mental rut when it comes to like, oh, I failed at this, or I didn't do this right, or whatever. It's like, no, this isn't even going to end the same way. You just got to go into it with a fresh mind and actually take those things that didn't work out for you and apply them and be like, okay, well, that doesn't mean I don't have what it takes to try again. Like, especially, like I said, if you have this inner tug that's pulling on you. And it mentions fertility. So for some of you, this could be actually like stepping into parenthood or something like that. It's like you will learn along the way. You've gotten this far. You look at every aspect of your own life that you've had to learn, and you've mastered it. It's like, okay, this is literally, it's the same thing. You're just teaching somebody else how to do it. And if you are giving yourself any amount of credit, it needs to be for that, because like literally life is what it is, and nobody is going to be perfect at this thing. You got to give yourself room to make mistakes and actually grow through them rather. But the last thing that stuck out to me was that it says to leave out any expectations and let them go. Like if any expectations are there, to let them go fluttering by without attaching to them. So like, even as far as the outcome goes, like, granted, it's going to be better than you're mentally allowing yourself to, like, you're limiting yourself when it comes to that, but you don't want to go into it with like those expectations, like it's not going to work out. Just let it pass. Your mind is definitely, your ego is going to try to protect you as much as it can in this. And it's going to tell you to stay as safe as possible where you are, but you're going to have to break through that barrier, break through that wall, and kind of come up out of that, you know what I mean, and will yourself up out of that. But you definitely have what it takes to do so. And it was one more thing. I know I said that was the last thing, but it was something else in here. It says something about like kind of you learned everything. Where is it at? Let me see. Oh, it says you've learned many lessons, but it's time for you to emerge as the embodiment. So for some of you, remember when I said, if this isn't something you've taken practical steps towards, it's something you've just been thinking about for a while, you may have been like you're over preparing yourself, like you're like triple checking, quadruple checking everything. It's like, no, you got it. Let's like actually move towards making these steps towards it and seeing it through and making tangible evidence that, like, listen, we're getting this job done. You know what I mean? I think you're being encouraged to step out of that phase and move into the next one. And like I said, you have what it takes. You're more than ready. You're more than equipped, and you're definitely protected here. So, yeah. So Aries, this is what I'm picking up for you. I hope it resonates with you. If it does, please let me know down in the comments. You can also like and subscribe as well. I greatly appreciate it. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye. Hey Tauruses, welcome to your reading. So as you can see, we have the Hanged Man and we have Salvia, represented by the number 35 for your oracle message. So right off the bat, the first thing I noticed with these two cards is like the shape of them. Like, if you can see, like the head, it looks like these are the shoulders. Let me see if I can pull them up actually without messing all the other cards up. But like, see how the shape is the same? Like, this is the shoulders, that's the head, this is the feet. See how that is? Isn't that crazy? So like, I mean, I don't believe in coincidences or anything. I definitely think things happen for a reason, but I think that the imagery in these cards alone tells me, well, hangman energy is obviously you're being called to see something from a higher or a newer perspective than you have been. But the main thing that is coming to me is that the most growth, like you're going through a situation, you're in a situation or a situation is about to be presented to you where you are going to be called to really trust your intuition on this. Like you're going to have to trust everything that is within you. It's not, and I just saw 111 on the clock, and it's not going to be something that you can physically see. Now, hangman energy it can be uncomfortable a bit because you're being thrusted almost into this newer enlightened version of yourself that doesn't feel familiar to you, but it's going to be worth it in the end because you're going to be willed into this new state of like mind, if that makes sense. So like his feet are tied, you see, and you see even here, it's like it's not a weak point up here, but it's not as strong as it is down here. The bigger the leaves are way bigger down here at the root, and I feel like the root being not necessarily your feet or like your root chakra, but like it's literally upside down to where it's your head, it's your third eye, it's your crown chakra. So I feel like you're going to get the most of this situation if you tap into parts of yourself that don't physically see things. So like say for example, this has to do because one of the things that actually drew me like was the word salvia. And when I saw the word salvia, I thought of the word salivate. And when I think of salivate, I think of the mouth and like speaking and things like that. So I feel like this may even be a conversation that is had, or it may just be something that was said to you or something where you're being called to like trust your intuition on it more than like, so like I'm thinking of like when someone says something and then the intent behind it, but you hear what they said and you apply it in the way that you're used to applying it, but they really meant it in another way, something to that effect. It could be that specifically, but it also could be like something with like a twist or like, you know, to something to that effect rather. But I feel like you're being called to take a higher perspective, a higher road when it comes to it, and not necessarily react in a way that is not enlightened. And react, and I don't mean it like don't I'm just saying go high when they go low is what I'm hearing, even if it's not low, because you may find in the end that it wasn't low to begin with. Like you may find that, oh, like they didn't even mean it like that. And then I just saw 333. I keep seeing angel numbers with you. Like so you're definitely surrounded by angels in this moment, and I feel like that is also a testament to you being able to trust your intuition more, because you're being guided, you're being divinely guided in order to do this. This is going to be a huge stepping stone for you. And the Hanged Man, like you didn't get this is a major arcana here, so this is definitely something that is like big, and it could definitely change the trajectory of the way you communicate moving forward. Because like I said, I don't know why that salvia card just made me think of like saliva. Like I know that's so weird, but I guess it's not, because if you switch the V in the I, you get saliva. So yeah, I don't know. I'm weird like that. But either way, I think you're being called, like I said, to look at something from a different perspective, obviously, but also communicate in a way that is, I don't want to say not so rash. You are Taurus energy. You can be a bit stubborn, I'm sure. And that stubborn is not always a bad thing. I'm not saying that. But there are moments where it can become like a hindrance more than anything. You don't want to allow that to be a hindrance, especially in a big moment like this. So I'm going to read out the Oracle book and see what that is and see what messages we get from there. So it says, I allow messages to flow to me. Again, intuition, your intuition. So trusting your intuition and allowing that inner guidance, that inner wisdom to flow to you and not resist towards it, because it's literally trying to tell you something. With its brightly colored indigo flowers, salvia decorates the landscape of the mountainous regions that it calls home. Diviner sage, as it's often referred to, this plant is known for amplifying the senses and painting lucid pictures. Salvia is here to act as a channel between you and your spirit guides. Open your mind's eye and be willing to receive the information that is ready to present itself to you. Keep a record of what you notice throughout your day to refer to later in meditation, or research and pinpoint the themes your guides are trying to address. Message, and I just told you, like, I just saw 2 angel numbers with you. They're definitely surrounded by angels. Messages from the divine can be bestowed in many forms, whether it comes in dreams, meditations, or synchronicities that seem too good to be true. Welcome these messages with open arms and embrace the healing that comes with this visual communication. Okay, so maybe what I'm thinking of, like, instead, it might not be a literal conversation that's had. What it may be is you're receiving messages and, like, you're not getting them. And it's not necessarily because you don't want to, it's just because you don't know how to. But if you just, like, it would be easier to learn it if you didn't doubt yourself so much. I think this has to do with, like, it maybe even be the way you're talking to yourself that is causing this hindrance or this blockage too. Maybe you're telling yourself you can't do it. Maybe you're telling yourself, like, or maybe other people have told you, like, you will never be this, or this will never happen. But it's like your inner wisdom is telling you something completely different. You know what I mean? And it's about being able to trust that and move and operate in that. And that's where that higher enlightened perspective is coming from. That may be what it is too. This is a general reading, so it could go for any of those things. But either way, you are definitely stepping into something new. And you're being, like, uncomfortable, but good and uncomfortable. Like, it's a blessing that you're in this position that you're in, or that you're about to be in, and you want to take full advantage of it by honoring every part of yourself, not necessarily like saying, okay, well, if I don't see it, it can't be true. Like, no, this is very much true, and it's very much happening for you, and you're very much capable of doing all the things. So yeah, so Taurus, this is what I'm picking up for you. I hope it resonates. If it does, please let me know down below in the comments, and I thank you so much for being here. Hey Geminis, welcome to your reading. So as you can see, we have the 10 of Swords for your tarot card, and we have the Gemini card for your oracle card, represented by the number 51. So as I was looking over your cards, first thing that came to me is there are 3 sides to every story. Your side, their side, and the truth. Interestingly enough, the Gemini is represented by the twins, which is duality within something. I think that obviously you're in a place where you're feeling defeated about something. You're feeling like your mental is weighing on you a lot more than you would like for it to be. I'll just say that. I feel like whatever it is that you're dealing with right now, you're being called to not necessarily look at it from a higher perspective or a better one. Definitely process your feelings. You definitely want to move through those in a healthy way, but to feel through it from a higher perspective, and process it from a higher perspective, and not to stay in whatever rut and whatever sadness or guilt or just whatever this energy is here, because it's so many different things. It could be so many different things, but the most important thing that we could take away from it is that it's weighing on you heavy mentally, and to not allow your mind or your thoughts to become an anchor that weighs you down and doesn't allow you to move forward or past it, because you're in a 10 of Swords energy, which means that you're in the last bit of it, and it can only get better from here. I feel like if this is pertaining to an actual relationship, because the Gemini does represent like communication and like messages and things like that, I feel like you may not be seeing the entire scope of it, because your mind is only set up in a way to where it'll allow you to see it like to a certain point, and then after that it's like, okay, we've hit a wall. But it's like about opening yourself up to the possibility that there could be more to this situation that you're not seeing. Now, interestingly enough, like I said, the Gemini is represented by twins, but they're different. Like, they may look the same, but they have their inner workings are differently. So like if this is pertaining to some sort of like relationship, like I said, you and the other party could be feeling the same exact way about it, but for different reasons. Or if this is about like you even reaching a goal, it's like, okay, you have yourself and you have the goal. You both want to, you want the goal wants you, but you can't seem to find the similarities there other than other than that fact. But there are so many other things tied to it that you're not seeing, if that makes sense. Hoping that makes sense, because I'm trying to explain it as best as I can without sounding crazy. But the end goal in this is, like I said, they're identical. It's a match. It fits and it will work. It's just about getting to the other side, and the other side not necessarily getting to you, but like you're like both meeting in the middle. I'll say that, meeting in the middle. So not thinking too big of a picture when it comes to it, and not also not breaking it down so small to the point where it just seems overwhelming. Hope that makes sense. I'm going to read your oracle message and see what I get from that. But I'm really I'm praying that resonates in a way where, because I know exactly what it is that I'm trying to say, and it's interesting like how I can't seem to word it correctly. So it may be a case where like that could be a part of the problem, like the way you're articulating yourself or the way someone else is articulating themselves is not getting through. So this says, I speak my truth. With curiosity surging, the twins run hand in hand through the open-aired field. The pair was created to explore the world together. If there's one thing for certain, the two will find out whatever they can and share their truth with others. Gemini is the embodiment of inquisition and truth. This sign taps into the desire to grow and expand the mind, from personal thoughts down to absorbing knowledge from a new book or podcast. Gemini is here to remind you that there is an opportunity to always uncover more. Dive into your passions and topics that you care deeply about and learn all that you can. Gemini wants you to understand that with knowledge comes the ability to create positive change, and when you speak your truth, there's much power to be held. So, yeah, this says, Gemini is here to remind you that there's always an opportunity to uncover more. That is what I was saying something about that when I said there may be something that you're not seeing because you're just so tied down by your thoughts. You're so overwhelmed with whatever this is that you're not understanding that there's more to the story, at least the side that you are not on. Like, you know your side, but you don't know the other side. So if this is, it means in terms of communication, there's that. But also when it comes to a goal, it's like, you know how much you've done, but you also don't know, like you may know how much more you have to do, but you don't know how easy it's going to be. You're just calling it difficult because you think that it will be difficult because you haven't been there yet, like that kind of thing. But it also says dive into your passions and topics that you care deeply about and learn all that you can. This is about asking the right questions. If this is conversation based, this is about literally diving deep into whatever task it is that you're working on, to the point where it's literally all you not think about, but just like you have no choice but to know the answer before the question is asked, is what I'm hearing. Like, you'll know it before the question is asked. Like, Gemini wants you to understand that with knowledge comes the ability to create positive change. And that positive change would be you getting up out of this mental rut that you're in. I'm sorry, all was something passing by. So yeah, there may be some distractions here. There may be like some blocks getting in your way in terms of communication. There may be some blocks in the way of you. Like it says, I speak my truth. So maybe if this is, I feel like for majority of this may be in terms of like a conversation and you not speaking up because you feel blocked by like all this other shit in between you saying what you need to say and you just being where you're at. Like, you may be like, oh, well, damn, if I say this, then, or if I speak up about this, then I'm going to be creating this whole whirlwind of problems for myself. When the reality of it is that you won't be. You'll actually be opening yourself up to so much more. So, Geminis, this is what I'm picking up for you. I hope that it resonates. Please let me know down in the comments if it does. I know it was all over the place a bit, but I'm a Gemini moon, okay? So, there's that. Communication is what it is. But either way, oh, and Mercury is in retrograde, so we're just going to chalk it up to that, okay? Let's just call it what it is. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this reading. Please let me know down below how you felt about it, and I'll see you on the next one. Hey Cancers, welcome to your reading. So as you can see, for your tarot card, we have the Ten of Pentacles. And then for your Oracle card, we have Lakshmi, represented by the number 7. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Lakshmi. So right off the bat, as soon as I saw your 2 cards, I instantly felt like you have your hands in a lot of things, potentially. You either have your hands in a lot of things or you have a lot of things that you want to have your hands in. Not only because you got the 10 of Pentacles, which is 10 Pentacles, but then you, with her, she has 4 hands and she seems just very busy. 10 of Pentacles is tied to wealth, abundance, and like just tangible, maybe evidence that you like good fortune, things like that. I feel like you have a lot that you are currently aiming for, or have a lot that you currently desire, or are working towards. You may feel a bit overwhelmed at the moment because you haven't quite obtained everything that you need, but it is on the way. So I think this is like confirmation for you more than anything that you will obtain everything that it is that you desire as long as you work towards it. However, what just came to my mind is, remember that Pentacles are slower energy. So even though you have your hands in a lot of things, maybe you're in a state where you're like, oh, these results aren't coming fast enough. But the thing is, like, and I also am picking up, like, because she has, let's see if I can show you, but like she has these seeds that are pouring out onto the ground. I mean, some part might take it as the seeds coming into but they're pouring out onto the ground. So you're definitely planting a lot of things right now. But when you think of seeds, you think of like plants, you think of how slowly things grow. So you're being called to understand, like, listen, this is confirmation. However, don't rush the process. Trust the process. Because if you rush it, you're not going to appreciate it as much if you just rush it. A rush job is going to make you just want to start over again. That's what I'm getting here. But not only that, but when you think of 10 of Pentacles, a lot of times when people think of Pentacles, they think of like money and like wealth in that sense. But there's also family in this card. There's also pets in this card. There's a baby in this card. There's homes, buildings, all types of structure and things like that within this card. And I think it kind of gets overshadowed or overlooked by the Pentacles because you're like, oh, money. Like, it's like, no, there's so much more to life than just money. And if you have all these hands in these things just to obtain some sort of money, then you won't be satisfied in the end. Like, it's about looking around and appreciating all that there is on top of the money. Like, what does family mean to you? What do you really value in life? Like, if you were broke, would you still feel abundant? And I just saw 333. Would you still feel rich in love if you didn't have money? Like, you know how they say money buys happiness or brings happiness. It's like, granted, don't get me wrong, money does help to take care of yourself, but there's so many people who go along and they make all these fortunes and things like that, but they have no one to lay down with at night and cuddle up next to, or they have no one to call when they have a problem. They have no genuine friends, things like that. And it's like, if you have that, you are already rich. And I'm being called to tell you that. Not only that, but like when you see the Lotus is about, I was just telling, I think it was Taurus. No, was it Taurus? No, it was Aries. I was telling them how lotuses they grow out of mud. They grow out of like murkiness and like what we would consider to be confusion, but they're also a signal or a sign of like rebirth. And they're a sign of like being like renewed in a sense. And I feel like if you were to really sit down and even write these things down, if you're the type to journal, you would find a lot. You would find a lot more clarity within your situation if you were to actually write down the things that you were grateful for, and money can't be one of them. I don't know why that's coming to me so much. I don't know who this Lakshmi is too much. I gotta read it out the book in a minute, but like I don't know what she represents, but she's surrounded by like lotuses. She has two in two hands, and then she's like sitting on one. I feel like this is a rebirth or a time for you to reframe your mind and ask yourself, what am I greatly appreciative for? Because like I said, the Pentacle, 10 of Pentacles is here, and it's not in reverse. It's definitely upright. So everything is going, you desire in life that aligns with you will come to you. But you have to be able to, like during, like, because it's a slow energy, like I said, during that process, you have to be able to, it's like, say it's a puzzle. You gotta be able to put all the pieces together where they fit versus trying to like rush and do it. Like, you know, you got to be strategic about this thing and smart about it, because you don't want to lose everything that you have based off of one thing, which that one thing being money. So let me read out the book real quick though. We have Lakshmi represented by the number 7, and it says abundance can be found everywhere in life. Remember what I said, like it's not just a money thing. It's like abundance is in abundance in love, abundance in family, abundance in friends, abundance in air, like the breath in your body, the ability to walk, see, feel, talk, like articulate, just think, like all that stuff is just, it's, you're surrounded by it. And it's like a lot of times we get so caught up in like these end goals when it comes to money and fortune and fame, whatever the case may be, that we overlook that. And if that's something you're currently overlooking, it's just like kind of like a check where it's like, all right, checkpoint here, what we doing, you know? So let me keep reading. It says Lakshmi is the Hindu goddess of beauty, fertility, and fortune. Her forearms symbolize dharma, morals, artha, pursuing wealth, kama, emotional fulfillment, and moksha, liberation or enlightenment. The lotus is her signature flower, which symbolizes purity and rebirth. Lakshmi encourages you to look at all of the ways that abundance could come to you. Life's riches come in many forms and don't just include monetary wealth. Didn't I just say that? Abundance can look like living a healthy life, feeling loved and appreciated, and obtaining the goals you've set for yourself. No matter where you are in life, Lakshmi calls for you to give thanks for everything that you have. Gratitude helps to create awareness and inspires you to appreciate the present moment. Yes, like I said, 10 of Pentacles, you're good. You're good. And I think knowing that you're good is, like I said, this is a confirmation for you, but also during this slow process of building on what it is that you want and desire and need in life, you got to learn to ask, what are those 10 pentacles to you? Is that love? Is that family? Is that friends? Is that, you know, is that health? Like, you know what I mean? Like, because without these things, we're nothing, essentially. I'm not gonna say you're nothing, you're a person, but I mean, shit, you know, you could just be a walking body, you know, if you don't have anything. It's just like, okay, you got money, okay, and when you die, then what? So I don't know, just a little reality check, but like I said, it is all coming for you, and you're definitely in the positive here. It's just all right, sorry about that, y'all. So like I was saying, this is pretty much just about slowing down and, you know, giving yourself grace when needed, and but also being appreciative of what I guess people would consider to be the smaller things in life, because those things are actually what create that abundance mindset for you to begin with. And it's not really just monetary things that, though they do help, that's not like the end all be all to life. And there's way more to life than just money. So I hope this resonates with you all. If it does, please let me know down below in the comments. And I thank you all so much for being here. All right. Hey, Leos, welcome to your reading. So as you can see, you have the 5 of Cups for your tarot card. And then for your oracle card, we have Sagittarius, represented by the number 57. So first thing I noticed when I saw your cards is that this guy is looking one way and the archer is looking this way. So right off the bat, this is some sort of like call to change course or change the direction that you are currently going in, because I feel like you've been in this Five of Cups energy for too long. Now, the Five of Cups, obviously, if you are not new to tarot, you know that it talks about sadness, some sort of regret, or like resentment that something was lost, that didn't work out, whatever the case may be. But with Sagittarius energy, Sagittarius is known for like their exploration. They're known for like being able to their adventurousness, their call to like explore and things of that nature. I think that you are being called to kind of will yourself up out of this energy. Interestingly enough, there is a bridge in this, the Rider-Waite version of the Five of Cups, and not for nothing, but you know the saying like build a bridge and get over it. I'm hearing that, but not in like a condescending kind of way, more so in a way where it's like literally build a bridge and it can be made out of whatever it is that you need it to be made out of in order to get past this phase that you're currently in. It could be made out of the experiences that you've been through being processed. It could be literally you not overthinking the situations as much, because I feel like I said, you've kind of been in this energy for a while or long enough that you're being called to a different direction. So it's either a situation. Hold on one second. I'm back. I don't even remember where I was. It's people outside like doing landscaping or cutting grass, whatever the hell they're doing. And it's loud and I'm trying not to let it interfere with the reading. So had to pause for a moment. But like I was saying, it seems like you're just in this energy where you, like I said, you've been in this Five of Cups energy for a while, but you're so focused on what was lost or what you didn't gain from a certain situation that you're not noticing these two cups behind you that are waiting to be filled with whatever new experiences, whatever adventures or whatever it is that you want to take on next, or that you're going to take on next, because eventually you're going to move out of this Five of Cups into Six of Cups, and then so on and so forth. But you have to will yourself up out of it, is what I'm hearing. So like I said, about building that bridge in order to get over it or to process it, unless you want to stay stuck, because like I always say, life is about choices. This is all up to you. But I feel like something inside of you is internally pulling you in another direction, and it's a good thing. It's actually a more positive, more eye-opening life path this way. So I'm going to read Sagittarius out of the book in a minute, but for some of you, this could be related to like a specific goal with this archer here. Like say you upset about something that was lost pertaining to that specific goal. It's like there's a point here and it's literally aiming for something very specific. So it's still on the way to you. It may just be in another form, and you may just have to go left instead of going right, if that makes sense. So let me read it out the book and see what we get from the oracle message here. It says, I am answering the call to explore. Sagittarius can be found exploring the city they recently read about in the newest romantic comedy. Feeling the need for adventure and exploration, Sagittarius planned an exciting trip filled with historical tours, museums, and people watching. Aside from escapades, Sagittarius loves to expand their minds and see diversity firsthand. Sagittarius is the call to get out there. Their natural curiosity is reaching out to you, urging you to take the leap and choose after the thrills of life. Now's the time to be spontaneous and let nothing stand in the way. You're brilliant and can figure anything out. Your energy is limitless. You just have to embrace the path of your most aligned, highest self. And I think that was where this is like pinpointing you to, is like, okay, you're still going in the same direction. You just gotta, or you're still reaching the same goal. You just gotta go in a different direction. Sagittarius is all about welcoming the unfamiliar and being open to new ways of living. Be open to seeing and feeling everything in life with a renewed perspective. So yeah, like you could build the bridge that you are going to get over this situation with that, with what's the word I'm looking for? Not urgency, with anticipation, the anticipation that is within you already, like that is in order to get to this goal. Like you're anticipating, like, okay, maybe you're anticipating something bad to be happening, but again, it says about looking at it from a new, fresh perspective. So this is about you looking at like, okay, well, that didn't work out for me in this way, but like rejection is just redirection. It's not necessarily me Xing myself out of the situation. Like for sure, you can definitely do away with this whole thing if you so choose to, but I don't feel like that's what majority of you, if not all of you, want to do. There's a reason you're feeling this deep sense of loss and regret, and you're feeling some sort of grief, and not for nothing, but that just shows how important it is to you in the first place, and that also just gives you more ammo and more fuel in order to keep going. Like, okay, it's time for me to finally turn around and accept these two new cups because they're fresh, they're not broken, nothing has spilled out of them, they haven't been used, and they're open to, like, I am open to filling them up with whatever newness or whatever new experiences that God has for me. So and like I said, like for some reason when I saw the Sagittarius card, I also thought about the Moonology Oracle card, and it says, I think it says something like look at the bigger picture or something like that underneath it. And I think that this is about that, and not necessarily looking at these specifics here. Like, okay, it's 3 cups, whatever those 3 cups represented to you could just be very specifically tied to a specific area. Like, okay, I didn't do this part right, but it's not about looking at it like that, because then that's just going to make the whole process seem overwhelming or seem impossible, even when it's not. Like I said, these 2 cups are standing here for a reason. If this was just a card about loss, then they wouldn't be there to begin with. It's about loss and renewal, and you don't want to forget that part of life, or like that part of any stage of like when you're going through grief or something like that, because for everything that is lost, something is gained. And for you, it's a whole different perspective. You just got to turn around and look a different way. So yeah, Leos, this is what I have for you. I hope it resonates with you. I'm sorry so much for the distractions and interruptions during your reading, but I hope it resonates nonetheless. If it does, please drop a comment down below, and I will see you in the next one. Hey Virgos, welcome to your reading. So as you can see, for your tarot card, we have the 2 of Cups, and then for your oracle card, we have Oshun, represented by the number 10. So, first things first, I don't know much about Oshun. I know that she is the goddess of like water and like fertility, I think, when it comes in Africa. I think that's what she represents. I know definitely water, with the water here, but the first thing that picked up for me was, or the first thing I noticed rather, is with the 2 of Cups, there's someone reaching out for her cup. Now with this blue here and the blue here, I'm assuming this is you. You're in your receptive feminine energy, and this is masculine energy here. So honestly, even though the 2 of Cups isn't in reverse, I get the feeling of someone who, like, I feel like you're in a situation where, and it could be a relationship, it could be a friendship, it could be just you just in some sort of like intimate connection. It could be family related too. But I feel like someone is trying to dominate the way that you view yourself, or view like the way your goals, not the way your goals are, but like they may be trying to diminish them. They may be so close to you that they have that effect on you, and you may be allowing it. Whether that be subconsciously or consciously. Like you may just be in a state where you're so used to doing it, so used to someone trying to take your cup and have theirs too, that they, like, it just becomes second nature. But like I said, she's the goddess of water and fertility, which represents water, representing our emotions. And I feel like this is about you. I'm not going to say taking your power back, because it's almost like the person's reaching for it. This could be a situation where they actually have gotten a hold on you emotionally, or they're close to like literally depleting you of your self-worth in a sense. And this is about you leaving that connection not necessarily alone, but creating boundaries with it so that that doesn't happen. So like this isn't a case where you have to like necessarily cut someone off. It may be, but this is a general reading, so I'm not going to just call that out. If that is, you know, your situation. But for the most part, like I said, it's about whether you cut them off or not. This is about creating a boundary. Whatever that limit looks like to you is going to be situational. But it's about keeping something for yourself. It's about honoring your own emotions and your own thoughts, your own body, honestly, like who you are as a person. Because sometimes we can get so wrapped up in connections. Again, it doesn't necessarily have to be romantic. It could be, but it could be a friendship too, where someone just you just become so meshed with someone that you guys kind of go hand in hand, and you don't have an identity for yourself anymore. But this is about finding that and keeping that and honoring it. Like I said, it's more so about just honoring it and understanding that it is there, because there's a part of you that feels small, and for the goddess of fertility and water to come out, like you're not finding the ability to create for yourself. You're not finding the ability to be who you are at your core and like branch off and have these new ideas and have these new thoughts be validated by anyone else, but you are your own person at the end of the day. You validate yourself. I'm not saying be delusional or anything like that, but I'm just saying if you have a bright idea, if you have goals, if you have things that you yourself individually want, then I feel like it's worth noting that and it's worth taking that into consideration. And I think you're being called to do that for yourself. I'm going to read the oracle message out of the book in a minute, but like I said, I do feel like this is it doesn't necessarily have to be a masculine energy, but it's definitely an energy. I just saw 444 o'clock. It's definitely an energy that has some sort of dominance or influence over you to the point where, again, you feel smaller than it. So let me read it out the book real quick and see what we get. This says, I honor uniqueness and my self-worth. I just said that. I said the self-worth part, not the uniqueness. But yes, definitely uniqueness. Because, well, I did kind of touch on it. I didn't say the word. But yeah, like you are your own body, your own vessel, whatever. It says, the Yoruba West African goddess of water, fertility, and love, Oshun is often depicted in gold in a yellow dress. She is known to represent all that is pleasurable in life, as well as the embodied awareness that time is precious and we must love and honor ourselves. The message that Oshun relays is that it is important to stand your ground and understand your worth. Know that you are the only one who can give yourself true approval. That's like that validation I was talking about. And that it's okay to put your opinions and feelings first. Do not get weighed down by the voices of others who may be intimidated by your presence. If you are acting out of love and with respect for others, then you have no reason to let others speak less of you. Stand tall in your beauty and your uniqueness. Remain confident in yourself. Speak up for yourself and keep your head high. Like I said, and I feel like you're operating in this feminine energy here. And feminine energy is very powerful. It's receptive. It's beautiful. It's quiet though at times. It's more like meek and like like I don't wanna stir the pot type energy. Honestly, like that's what femininity is. It doesn't argue. It's not about to. It's going to sit back and allow whatever to come to it positively, of course, to come to it. But sometimes it can. I'm not going to say it can be too quiet, but I mean it is a femininity is quiet for the most part, and sometimes if it's not harnessed correctly or used correctly, because sometimes we do have to stand up for ourselves, and for some people they may consider that to be masculine energy because you're taking some sort of force or dominance. But femininity does, you can get what you want by still being feminine and just saying the right things, and you don't have to be quiet all the time. Like, You know, I'm not saying go around arguing, obviously. I wouldn't condone that at all. Like, but a healthy debate, you know, especially when it comes to who you are and standing your ground and stuff. Sometimes you got to get with a motherfucker, okay? And there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not saying like be disrespectful. It says in the book, and it's correct. If you're not hurting or harming nobody, then what the hell is the problem? You know what I mean? And I think it's worth asking that question to whoever this person is. Like, does this hurt you or something? Does this bother you? And if it does, why? So we can get down to the root of that, because I might not care at the end of it. But in the event that I do, I might consider it and move accordingly then. But honestly, I don't get that energy. I get like this is someone trying to take your power, your sense of freedom, your individuality away from you, like I said. And yeah, no, this isn't about that. This is about harnessing that goddess energy within you, because it is there. And you know, you're just as important as the next person. You don't have to shut down or swallow your sense of self just to make someone else comfortable. And if you do, then again, maybe this is worth reevaluating who that person is and whether they deserve a place in your life or if it needs to be limited. Like, yeah, you only get 5 minutes with me and then I'm done. You get no time with me. You know what I mean? Like, it's about being real with yourself and who you have surrounding you, because you'll become that in the end. And you don't want that. You don't want sour energy around you either. But yeah, so Virgos, this is what I'm picking up for you. I hope it resonates. If it does, please let me know down below in the comments, and I wish you well. Hey Libras, welcome to your reading. So as you can see, you have the High Priestess, and for your oracle, you have Poppy, represented by the number 34. So honestly, when I saw Poppy, and I've seen this card before in other readings, but when I saw Poppy, for some reason I thought of the movie Trolls. And my niece used to watch it so much, and I think they say like, no, troll left behind or something like that, right? So, and Poppy, she's like the main character. So I feel like, I don't know the significance of the movie and how it would tie into your situation, but I do know that she was like really like optimistic throughout the movie. Like she just kind of always had like some sort of positive attitude, and she's very brave too. So I'm not telling you to go watch it if you haven't already seen it. I mean, it's a kid's movie, honestly. So, and it's almost like 10 years old anyway, so it's not necessarily something you got to go look for. But her energy and like her characteristics, I'd say, may be something that you have within you. Like maybe you're typically optimistic, but I'm not so much feeling that in this energy here. I feel like there's something you're not being optimistic about. With this High Priestess energy, I feel like High Priestess is really quiet energy. She's very reserved, but she's very smart. And I heard the word calculated also. I feel like maybe there's like a task or some sort of like journey or goal that you're currently in the process of trying to get through with this Poppy card. There's some sort of growth. There's some sort of like, there's like something that has to do with stages. But I'm thinking of like how slowly plants grow, and it may be like uncomfortable for you right now. It may be like you're in this like waiting period. Because like, when I think of the High Priestess, she's represented by the number 2. You think of the Two of Swords energy, the Two of Pentacles energy, the Two of Wands energy, even. Like they're always like, they're like waiting stages. Two of Cups, not so much, but I'm just thinking of you being in like some sort of stage where you're like in an in-between. You're in the in-between. And it's not, this is a call for you to trust your inner wisdom, your inner guidance, and know that all is well, regardless. And I'm noticing the brightness of the flowers, and I think that's probably why I thought of the optimism that Poppy has too, or that you may have towards other situations or other parts of your life, Like if you look back on your life, you may be able to reflect and say, okay, I was optimistic here, or even now, like there may be certain areas of your life where you're optimistic towards, but with this particular thing, I think you're so uncomfortable in the waiting period that it's causing you to lose your momentum. It's causing you to not feel so good about the situation. But I think if you were to take a step back and understand who this high priestess is, you pulled her and she wasn't, well, I pulled her for you, and she's not in reverse. She's upright. So she's still able to be like, I don't know why I'm hearing, I'm just flowing. And she's like able to be accessed. She's always able to be accessed. But right now, I think you're being called to gravitate more towards this high priestess energy, this energy of understanding that even in the in between, there's still some sort of understanding there that, like, you're on your way. You're not where you have been and you're not where you're going, but you're right where you need to be. And there's a world full of knowledge that is waiting for you to access it, to, like, it's looking forward to you. That's weird. I don't know. Let me read it out the book. I don't even know. I'm hoping that resonates. It says my dreams are available to me. And now the high priestess is attached to dreams. She's attached to your intuition, like that third eye, like that crown, like she's all in the head. Like even when you look at her, she has like the crown on her head. And it's like the different stages is like beginning stage, and then the full stage, and then the end stage. Like it's like the moon phases, if I'm not mistaken. And then behind her, as always, there's a veil and behind that veil, only she has access to it. I think this is about learning, like going deeper within yourself and understanding your strength more than you're allowing yourself to. You're very strong. You're very intuitive. You're very in tune with things that other people are not. It says, reaching up behind its tall, thin stem, the poppy flower seems to grow into cups to gather the warmth of the sun. Stretching out in vast fields of red and orange, stumbling upon these flowers will have you wondering if you may have unknowingly turned down a yellow brick road. The brightly colored blooms of the poppy flower are an invitation to make your wildest dreams come true. The sky is the limit to what you wish to experience in this life, so witness it all. Create a dream journal or vision board to help you manifest exactly what you're looking for. Ask your guides for assistance and trust that the universe will present these things in due time. The wait may feel like ages, but when you reach your end goal, you can look back on all your hard work and be grateful for all you learned during these moments. And that's what I was saying. Like, there's a waiting period you're currently in. Like, you're in this in between. You're in between the two towers here. You're in between. Like, you haven't quite, you don't understand your power because you're so stuck on, like, the uncomfortableness. You're so stuck on the beginning or the end. You're so stuck on, but you're very in tune outside of that. Like I said, you carry this sense of optimism with you about other things, but not this. And it's a time to ask yourself why. Why do you feel that way about this in particular? What is it? Who told you that it's not attainable? Who told you that you wouldn't win? Because you're already winning. It's very interesting. And like I said, these flowers are as bright as they are. I think that's as bright as your future is going to be. I think everything in your reading ties. I mean, granted all the other readings too, but for some reason yours just feels deeper than the other ones so far. This energy feels like honestly, like even when I was talking earlier, I was just flowing. I typically do flow, but not in the way I just did. Like I couldn't turn it off. And it's like there's something about you. There is something about you that you're not even seeing. There's something about you that I can't even pinpoint. And I feel like with the right time, with the right patience, with the right amount of patience, with the right amount of time, with the right amount of knowledge, you're going to tap into something within yourself that you didn't even know was there throughout this whole process, throughout this waiting phase. You're going to learn so much about yourself that you didn't even know was possible. So this is obviously something really big for you. You did get a major arcana, but it's going to flip your world upside down in a good way. I will say that. But just, there's a lot of learning in this growing phase that you're in. Like there's a lot of in this waiting game. Like even it's about appreciating every phase. Like every day waking up and saying, "Oh wow," you know, even though I can't see the growth, I know it's there. I know it's coming intuitively inside. I may not see it every day. I mean, you think of how flowers grow. You don't see the growth every day. Sometimes you gotta plant something, and then you gotta take a week and come back to it, and you might see like a little sprout. And 2 weeks from then, it might be bigger than that. But if you look at it 2 days from then, it's going to look the exact same. This is about intuitively knowing, like, it's happening for me. So yeah, so whew, Libras, this is what I got for you. I hope it resonates. If it does, please let me know down below in the comments, and I will see you all in the next one. All right, hey Scorpios, welcome to your reading. So as you can see, for your tarot card, we have the World, and then for your oracle card, we have Aries, represented by the number 49. So, this is similar to another reading I did where like it looked like they were like in different directions, facing different directions. Can't remember who it was, what sign it was, but yeah, like first thing I noticed when I see your two cards is the fact that she's looking one way and the ram is looking another way. So obviously you're at the end of a cycle, you're completing a cycle, you are at the finish line of something, and you may be in a place where you're wondering, okay, what's next? I feel like this is just a with the Aries here, I feel like this is with it being the first sign in the zodiac for one, so it's like self-starter type energy. It's just a clean slate. I'm thinking of like the springtime and how things are sprouting again. There's like this renewed sense of energy, this renewed sense of life coming to. So say for example, this is pertaining to like some sort of breakup or some sort of like the ending of a job or the ending of like something that you don't want to, not necessarily don't want to end, but like you knew you had to end it type energy. That's what I'm picking up on. But I feel like with it, especially with all these signs, if I'm not mistaken, these are all fixed signs here, and it talks about with fixed signs. It's just kind of like energy that can't be moved. I think that you're being called to go whichever direction that is calling towards you at this moment, and that like whatever positive direction is calling to you at this moment, and not to allow the completion of this cycle to be your end all be all. I'm getting that you have a world of abundance. It's like limitless opportunities for you moving forward as you move into this new stage. I feel like this is something that's been a long time coming. This is something that has been needed to like process through, like to get to the end of the like you've been waiting for this moment. Like you knew it was coming, and now it's finally here. And now you're like, well damn, what do I do after that? I'm not going to say whatever you wanted, whatever is positive to you. You're being encouraged to step into that. You're being encouraged to take this new leap and step into it without a clear, I'm going to say not a clear sense of direction, but like just without any like expectations, without any like particular goals in mind. You're just being called to just start, to just take it one day at a time. I mean, and realistically, Scorpio is related to like the death energy and like this big, huge transformation. And I feel like that is a true testament to the type of energy that you're in now. Though you didn't get the death card, I'm just thinking of like how it works out within the major arcana. So I'm going to read Aries out of the book real quick and see what we get from that. It says, I embrace adventure. Greeting the morning sun, Aries is anxious to start the day. They've decided to get a workout in, enjoy their favorite breakfast, and then let the rest of the day arrive spontaneously. I just said that. Don't go into it with like a direct, I'm gonna say aimlessly, but just do whatever feels good. Do whatever feels good, not with any goals or expectations. This fiery sign knows that each day is an opportunity for adventure. Aries is an inspiration to bring creative fire to each day. Excuse me. With enthusiasm and drive, you can create a life that excites you to wake up. Even if your schedule is packed, think of what you can do in your off hours. Shaking up a morning routine with yoga and meditation can leave you more prepared for the day, and following up the evening with journaling or reading your favorite book is an opportunity to enjoy the sweetness in life. Ignite your confidence within by believing in yourself to create your dream life. Yes, so like I said, whether this is a relationship, job, just whatever, maybe you moved, I don't know, maybe moved to a whole different like area. This is about creating something positive from that. And like I said, it's like almost like you knew it was coming. You knew this had to happen. Fixed energy. It's a part of the plan. But now that you're here, now that you're coming up into this energy, even if this isn't something that has come to a head yet, you're going to naturally gravitate towards what feels good. You're not going to stay in this energy of like, well, what if, or like, why didn't it work out for me? It's like you're going to be more optimistic about it, and you're going to look forward to the journey. You're going to feel a lot lighter too. I feel like with her being naked and like exposed like that, it's like the weight of the world, the weight of the situation is no longer on her shoulders, and she's free to be herself. Whether you're male or female, it doesn't really matter. You're just free to be yourself. You're free. You're vulnerable to this new way. Like you're open to exploring, and you're going into it with like fresh eyes, a fresh sense of self, and not taking anything with you because you're ready to jump into this full energy. And the Fool is the first card. Aries is the first sign. So it's just interesting how it plays into each other. And I just saw 555 on the clock. So definitely a big change is coming for you with this World card here. This is a significant leap that you're about to take, or you are currently in the midst of taking, but it's only going to lead you to bigger and brighter and newer and fresher energy that you have the ability to look forward to, and that you're in like this state of mind where it's like everything's going to work out because I said so. And even in the midst of your problems and things like that, you have full control over it. Aries energy, full control over how this thing is going to go. Like you, you're the director of your own show moving forward, and not anyone else, not anything else. So yeah, that's what I'm getting for you guys, Scorpios. I hope that it resonates. If so, let me know down below in the comments. Sorry for hitting the mic. And I thank y'all so much for being here. Hey Sagittarius, welcome to your readings. So as you can see, you have the Seven of Wands for your tarot card, and you have rhodochrosite represented by the number 22 for your oracle card. So admittedly, I do not know much about this crystal or what it has to do with, but with it being pink, it reminds me of rose quartz. So it may or may not have something to do with love, or like heart type energy, or like just like self-love, maybe something like that. Just like it just feels very warm in comparison to the Seven of Wands energy here, where it's like you're on defensive mode, and you're defensive about something. You feel like you need to kind of have your guard up about something, or fight something off. Maybe you're pushing against the grain with something that you know that your heart has been calling you towards, or that your heart has been telling you need to do, because you are just so stuck in your head about something. Maybe I feel like this is a call to kind of letting your guard down and like easing up off of that energy of like, okay. And I'm a Sagittarius sun, so I'm not really coming at you when I say this. This applies to me in some way, shape, or form. Just kind of have to process it how it comes. But I just feel like there's something that you're guarded about. This could be in regards to love. This could be in regards to finances. This could be in regards to anything really. Maybe something going on at your job currently. It's going to be different for everyone. But the point I'm getting at is that this is about opening your heart, maybe even empathizing or sympathizing with something more than you currently are. Again, very general reading, so apply it as it may be. But I just feel like there's too much thinking involved here. Oh, I just saw 222 on the clock. So yeah, there's too much thinking. Like you're in your head a lot about something, and you're not allowing your full body to like be like, it's like you're not one with your energy, if that makes sense. Like you're kind of compartmentalizing things, and it's not working out. Like maybe you're like the organized type and you're just like, okay, well, it has to be ABC, or like it has to look one way, or I'm fighting against it. I don't want that for myself. I'm good. Like I'm good by myself. I can just, and the thing is, eventually it's going to get overwhelming. You're one wand against six more. You know what I mean? Like it's going to become like this overwhelm, and you're going to feel like you're doing way more work than you have to in order to meet this goal of yours. And I think you're being called to take a step back and just kind of process this from not more like a what's the word I'm looking for, not being so strategic, not being so like rational, not being so organized. It's about like, and I just saw 333. It's about letting your guard down a bit, like just kind of easing up and using your heart for once, or whatever. Maybe you use your heart, but just not to the capacity that it wants you to, or it's like nudging you to. But this is about not thinking so much. I'm going to read the oracle message out the book, just so, because like I said, I don't know much about this crystal, but like I said, it's giving me like warm, it's very contrasting energy towards this. And it may be one that you could attempt to use or like incorporate into your daily routine or something. It says, I welcome opportunities that lead to my heart's desires. I did mention something about the heart because it reminded me of rose quartz. I mean, maybe. Let's see. Rhodochrosite can be found in variations of pink and brown. Oh, so it comes in brown too. But it's pink for a reason, y'all. With streaks of white that give this stone a unique appearance. Its connection to the heart chakra makes it... Oh, it's connected to the heart? I said that. I'm sorry. Okay, let me just read. Its connection to the heart chakra makes it a great companion to help open the heart and welcome positivity into your life. When it comes to making decisions in life, they are often categorized as being made with the head or the heart. You're being encouraged to welcome decisions that will lead to happiness in your heart's truest desires. Find what speaks to you and what warms your soul, and let that be the choice that you make. If you're having a hard time discerning between your options, close your eyes and focus your energy toward your heart. Notice any subtle shifts when you weigh your options and listen to what your intuition and your heart have to say. I said a lot of that. Not a lot of it, I didn't say it, but like I was hinting towards a lot of that, especially with this defensive energy. It's like he's not using his heart for anything. I mean, like I said, you may use it, but not to the capacity that you are being called to. So like when you're defending this thing, it's like, oh no, my heart's in it. I can't. But it's like expanding your heart, expanding your emotional body, and opening yourself up to new things. You know what I mean? This is about like, what if my heart wants more, but I'm so busy defending this thing that like I don't even know that it wants it. You ever thought about that? But no, and it says, what does it say? You're being encouraged to welcome decisions that will lead to happiness in your heart's true desires. True desires. It's like, do you want to be defensive like this? Does your heart, like literally, that is so taxing. It's so taxing. It's tiring as hell. It really is. It's like, oh my gosh, I just want to take the weight off. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I get the feeling of. Like, I just want to put this damn stick down. This shit is getting tiring. It's 6 of y'all, and it's only one of me. Like, I gotta find a different way to do this. Like, I can't keep going about it like this. I'm getting tired. I gotta do 2 different damn shoes on. I forgot to put the right shoes on. I'm so in my head about this thing that I'm not in my head about these things. I don't even care about my appearance anymore. That's just what I'm getting. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like I'm so unprepared. I wasn't ready for this. I didn't think it would be this way. Like, I thought it would be different, but it can be different. You just got to open your heart up to it. Ask yourself, what is it that you truly want, and go for that, and not continue to operate in the same defensive energy or the same closed off energy that you've been in. That's what it's about, Sagittarius. So this is what I'm getting for y'all. I hope it resonates with you. Please let me know down in the comments if it does. And I appreciate you so much for being here. And I'll see you in the next one. Hey Capricorns, welcome to your reading. So as you can see, we have the Nine of Wands for your tarot card. And we have I've seen this card twice or three times before. I know that XO is Xochiquetzal. I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm going to read out the book. I think that the true pronunciation is in there, but it's represented by the number 12. Let's get into it. So, right off the bat, Nine of Wands energy, closed off, very guarded, very tired energy, very drained energy. That's the energy you currently are in or you're moving out of. But very contrasting in comparison to her card. She's outside in nature. She got a peacock next to her. She got some flowers. She got some butterflies. Definitely the call here is to get out more. The call here is to open yourself up more and not be so guarded, not be so closed off, and not feel like the whole world is against you, and not building your experiences based off your past. I feel like with these nine wands here, these are like these walls. This is walls. 111 on the clock. These are walls. They need to be broken down. You don't want to build with these anymore. They're not doing you. They're not serving the purpose that they did in the beginning. There's an internal nudge within you to get out more. There's an internal nudge within you to explore more, to see what the world has to offer. And it's like, I don't want to operate in this Nine of Wands energy, but I'm so used to it, and I feel like I'm safe here. I feel like you feel safe here, but the thing is, you're not safe. You are safe, but you're also not experienced. You're also not seasoned in life. Like, I feel like you're operating in this old way of thinking. Like, you're operating in this way where it's like, okay, it's time to move out of this. It's time to expand my horizons. And I feel like you're like, you've been either feeling this pull towards that and you're ignoring it, or you are literally trying to just find a way to like step out on faith and move towards it. It's very colorful on this side. Very colorful on this side. So this could be your imagination wandering. This could be you, like the what ifs, the possibilities, the endless thoughts that come to your mind as you sit in this energy, this Nine of Wands energy. It's very tired though. I feel like a lot of you are tired and you're like, okay, I just need a break. The break is outside. The break is when you let go, when you put that down. Like, you don't even have a place for this last wand to go. It could go in back of you, but it's like, what did you even, like, why are you, what is your why? What is your why? What made you build this up so tall? What made you guard yourself? Now, there's so many different resources and things we could take advantage of. And I know therapy is expensive and it's not accessible to multiple people, but good friends, good family, just a good source, someone, or maybe even tarot is your source. Like, you just listen to readings and you're like, you keep hearing the same thing over and over again type shit. Like, where you're like, okay, well, I keep hearing this. This is the advice. How do I go about it? Just do it. 333 on the clock. Just do it. I've been seeing angel numbers damn near every reading. Not every reading, but like yours, I just saw too, I think. Yeah, this is about just doing it. I'm going to read this out of the book because, for one, I don't know how to pronounce her name. And I think that's another thing too. It's like just learning. Like, I don't even know how to pronounce this lady's name, but I'm about to find out. And it's like small shit like that. That's your stepping stone. Just like little stuff like that. Like, okay, I don't know how to do this. Let me just figure out how to do that. It can be the babyest thing. And it can make a big difference. So this says, I see beauty in everything. Okay, so it's pronounced show. I thought that was Zoe. Oh my gosh, y'all. See? Loud and wrong. Xochiquetzal is the Aztec goddess of fertility and household arts and is deeply connected to the natural world. She is often presented as a beautiful, youthful woman accompanied by a band of colorful birds and butterflies. She is also a patron saint of desire and sexual experiences, embodying the enjoyment of all the beautiful things this world has to offer. You're being called to connect to the beauty and wonder that surrounds you. As the goddess of pleasure, Xochiquetzal encourages you to explore what pleasure means and embrace your sensuality. Dance and let your body move freely and adorn it in ways that feel comfortable and vibrant to you. Encourage yourself to stand out and experience the world through new lenses. You could also spend time outside and observe the colors of nature and how lively they may be. And I told you you need to get out more. I told you need to get outside. Like, you're in this box here. It's about getting outside and seeing the world for what it truly is. I think you have this warped, old, outdated perspective on what is out there, and it's touching on sensuality also. So this could be in terms of like dating for you. This could be talking about like maybe you've had bad relationships or experiences where they just weren't so comfortable for you. And it's like, no, this is about exploring that, not necessarily saying go out here and be a hoe. Nobody's saying that at all, because sensuality is tied to dancing too, just movement and learning your body, learning your likes, your dislikes, your wants, your needs, and all the things. Like, it's about really tapping into that side of yourself and honoring yourself and understanding yourself, so that moving into this next relationship, you know exactly what it is that you desire. You're not just settling for shit, or you're not just saying, okay, I'm gonna take this just because it's there, type shit. That's what I'm getting here for you. So that outdated version of yourself is ready to be put on a shelf, and then this new version of you is ready to emerge and like just be free, and like thinking of butterflies and how like delicate they are and how like they just fly freely. They're colorful, they're bold. Maybe this is you internally, just colorful, bold, inspirational. Peacocks, they represent the feathers represent like some sort of protection and things like that. And I feel like, again, you feel safe here, but you're safe outside too. You're safe outside. You just got to know how to maneuver and like not allow people to take advantage of you, not allow things to stay longer than they need to. You know what I mean? I feel like this is more so in terms of connection. Now that I've seen or read the Oracle card, this is about like relationships for a lot of you. And it's not all bad. There's definitely some weirdos out there. Trust me, I'm not denying that, but it's not all bad. There's definitely good people out there just like you, waiting to meet you. You just gotta open yourself up, bandage up these wounds, heal from all the things you need to heal from properly, and move forward, move accordingly. But it's possible. So yeah, so Capricorns, this is what I got for you. I hope it resonates. If it does, please let me know down in the comments, and I will see you guys in the next one. Hey Aquariuses, welcome to your reading. So as you can see, you have the Three of Pentacles for your tarot card, and you have Air Mid represented by the number 1 for your Oracle card. So your energy is a bit interesting, to say the least, because it's just interesting energy. So what I'm getting for you is you're about to be presented with a stage in your life where you are learning how to maybe ground yourself, maybe learn how to properly navigate and put things in the places that they need to be. Like you're doing some sort of organizational, like figuring out, okay, where this is best at, where it thrives the most at. Like, so for example, and I think it's more so like an emotional process you're going through. Like you're understanding, okay, everything has a place, even my emotions. There's a time and a place for me to operate in this energy, and there's a time and a place for me to operate in that energy. Like there's a time to sit back and there's a time to go ahead and do. Like I feel like you're finding your footing and you're kind of grounding yourself in this space of like Okay. You're the student and the teacher in life, but right now I feel like you're being the student. And you may be going through this with someone else, or you could just be going on this journey alone, but you're in a stage where you're being more receptive to guidance. You're not necessarily you're not necessarily thinking that you have all the answers. Now, I know Aquarius energy does tend to be like more innovative and more like inspirational and more like you're typically probably the teacher. A lot of people probably come to you, but you're in a space where you're now currently able to sit back and learn. You're in a stage where you're like, it's almost like it feels quiet. And I think that's why I get this student type vibe from you, because you're so busy listening and you're engaging and you're willing to take your time with it. I know the air mid card does talk about like her using her tears to heal certain parts of the body. Um, and I think that this is you using your, not necessarily sadness, it could just be using all your emotions and understanding them a lot more, because Aquarius energy can be in their head a bit. Um, and it can be in there in the, you can like keep your head in the future a bit. This is about you being present and knowing, okay, like I'm getting organized for the now. Like I'm doing this now so that I don't regret it later. I'm doing this now so I don't have to worry about it later, and I'm allowing things to grow as they may. Like I'm putting I'm putting everything else on the back burner so that I can focus on this one thing. And like I said, I think that whether you're doing this with someone else or you're doing it alone, the I don't know why I want to say it, but the teacher that you have is one of the best. So, and for some reason, I feel like life is the teacher. It's not. It may not be a real teacher. It could be like if you're going through with somebody else, it could be a counselor. This counselor is very much fitting for the situation. Don't doubt it. Is what I'm hearing. Um, but I'm also getting like the thought of like there's going to be a lot of obstacles and hurdles, but they're going to be in the past. You're going to overcome them. You're going to overcome them, and you're going to come out better than you may be thinking at the time. And I just saw 4 on the clock, so you're definitely protected through this. And like I said, you're being divinely guided, and the steps that you're taking are definitely ordered right now. It's all happening for a reason. It's interesting because I can't remember what other, I think it was Gemini, and I was having a difficult time trying to like articulate what it was that I was trying to say. And it's crazy because I'm a Gemini moon, but I'm also an Aquarius rising. I had no issues articulating Sagittarius energy, my sun sign. But like when it comes to right now, like I don't know why, for some reason I'm finding it hard to find the right words for you guys' reading. So please forgive me. I hope it's making sense though. Let me read it out the book though, so that we can see exactly. I remember her. I've pulled this before, but it says, I honor nature's ability to heal. The goddess of herbal healers and sacred herbs, Aries is a Celtic goddess who is strongly connected to the tradition of herbalism. It is said that in grieving the loss of her brother, the tears she cried sprouted into a healing herb for every part of the body. Every area of the body, I'm sorry. Airman is a reminder of the healing properties of the earth. The planet has cared for generations and generations before you, and that herbal knowledge is rooted in history can be traced back thousands of years. Whether you're an experienced herbalist or an evening tea drinker, herbs may have touched your life in one way or another. Your body is in tune with plant medicine, so take some time to connect deeper with them. You can do this by spending time in nature, turning to resources to identify herbs and native plants in your area, or by working with an herbalist or naturopath to explore how you could include herbs in your life. See, yeah, it talks about herbs a lot. So, I mean, if there's some sort of like significant, I'm sorry for shaking the table. If there's some sort of like significance with herbs, apply it as it may, but I don't take it like I'm not processing these two cards where like herbs is the focus. I'm thinking of like growth. I'm thinking of how many, like, there are a lot of herbs, but I'm thinking of like all the possibilities that are going to come to you from just being the student, from just being the, not no longer being the teacher. I don't know why that's coming to me, but it is. But yeah, so Aquarius is, I'm hoping this resonates with you. I'm kind of throwing stuff at the wall here when it comes to my intuition and what I'm picking up on, but I hope it resonates nonetheless. If it does, please let me know down below in the comments, and I will see you all in the next one. Hey Pisces, welcome to your reading. Last but not least, it is your turn. So looking at your cards, you see you have the Knight of Cups for your tarot card, and then for your oracle card, you have Moonstone, represented by the number 18. So right off the bat, when I see these two cards, Knight of Cups, the direction he's moving towards with this Moonstone, Pisces being represented by the Moon card, or the major arcana in tarot, I think you're moving towards like this phase where you are like you're a knight currently, so you're not necessarily queen or king energy, but you're in this learning phase where you have been at something for a while. You have been like not studying, but like maybe in this learning stage of like trying to maybe understand your emotions, or understand how other people's emotions may affect you even, and learning how to guard yourself, or learning how to honor yourself when it comes to that part of you. Interestingly enough, you are a Pisces, which is represented by water. So I do feel like overall you are very in tune with your emotions, but there may be times where you allow them to get the best of you, or you don't honor them enough, something like that. But you're still in tune with them nonetheless, and you know that they're there, because you kind of can't hide them. You can't get around them. But like I said, Knight of Cups, he's very much willing. I think you're in this stage of life where you are currently like all right, let's see what we can look forward to, or like let's see what phase of life we can move into. But you're moving into this phase where you're attracting this Moonstone energy. I don't know much about Moonstone. I'm gonna have to look at it when we get into the card. But like I said, with the moon energy in it, I feel like this is you just kind of like embodying this sense of self that is undeniable, and embodying this sense of yourself that attracts those who are right for you. So if you've had past situations that like, or like whether this be relationship, friendship, family, whatever, like, but just situations where you weren't honored enough because you didn't honor yourself, I think this is you moving into a phase where you kind of like, you go into it protected, you go into it shielded and guarded, but not in a bad way, but just in a way where like, okay, I have to have some sort of guard up, just, and I'll put it down for those who are deemed worthy enough for that, if that makes sense. Like you're not just going into it all willy nilly. You're like literally like, okay, I got it. I'm willing, but it comes with a price. Like it ain't free. Ain't nothing over here free. Okay, it's gonna take me some time to get this off. You're gonna have to say the right things to get this armor off of me. You know what I mean? So that's just what I'm picking up on here. And like even with him being on a horse, I know all the knights are on horses in the Rider Waite, but like just him being on a horse, it's like, yeah, you're not like on a high horse, but you're just up on a level that you weren't on before. Like I had to get on this horse, and it's going to take some work for me to get off of it. Okay. So I want to read, because like I said, I don't know much about Moonstone, the crystal itself, but I just want to read it to see what we pick up on from that. It says, I am calm. Moonstone is a white and black stone that glistens with a beautiful blue. Almost opalescent in nature, this stunning stone is calming and acts as a channel for divine feminine energy. Like a lighthouse leading a boat safely to shore, Moonstone glimmers and lights the way to your newest adventure. And see, I told you he was walking into this like energy. So yeah. You're growing into the person you were meant to be, and it is a beautiful sight to see. Take a moment to honor yourself and all that you have witnessed thus far. While the process is not complete yet, the progress that you have made has prepared you for what is to come next. Take a deep breath and let Moonstone fill you with relief and ease. There's no need to stress. The universe has your back. So yeah, you're definitely tapping in. You already were in tune with your emotions, like I said. So maybe this was a case where you didn't like honor them enough, or you honor them too much. But either way, it says I'm calm. So it's either way you're in this place where you're like, look, I'm already protected. I'm good. Like I did all the work here. Now I'm moving into this new phase so I can become a king or a queen at this shit. Like, and then I don't necessarily have to wear the armor unless I'm like in a position that is necessary. If you're in a queen, like it's divine feminine energy, it says. So if you're like this queen energy, where you're just being receptive, you can take it off. But if you're like in a masculine energy, then you got to put it on. Like, but obviously we all work in duality. Like we have both masculine and feminine energy in us. So it's about knowing when to say when. And I think that's something that you're tapping into currently, where you're like, okay, I don't always have to be one way or the other. I can find a balance between the two. And that's why I was saying, like, yeah, it's going to take some work to get this armor up off me. It's possible, though, you know? But, like, it's about knowing, like, okay, this is for the right person, or this is for the right people, even. Like, if it's a group of people, group of friends, group of family, whatever, like, you don't have to take it off just because you're around family. Like, all family ain't right for you. You know what I mean? It's not like maybe you were taught that, like, oh, well, it's this family, you got to be a certain way to them. Like, no, if I got to not, the hell, like, shit, we ain't related by nothing but blood. That ain't got nothing to do with nothing. We don't relate no other way. So please miss me. Or like if it's past relationships, like this isn't about you just settling for anything just for the hell of it. This is about you actually going after what you want. A knight is very dedicated to what it is. Like they have a goal in mind. Like it's not like I'm just out here just doing anything. Like no, I'm a knight. I've earned this badge. I've earned this armor. I've earned this horse, and I've earned this cup. And you're gonna have to earn it too. The cup, at least. If I'm gonna give it to you, or if I'm gonna allow you to pour into it, it ain't gonna have, like, if I want water, I'm gonna get water. If I want juice, I'm gonna get juice. If I want soda, ew, but I'm gonna get soda. I'm sorry, I don't drink nothing but water and tea, so like the thought of soda just makes me, yeah. But yeah, just make sure you're pouring the right stuff into your cup. That's all. So anyway, Pisces, this is what I'm picking up for you. I hope it resonates for you. If it does, please let me know down below in the comments, and I will see you all in the next one.